That should now. Is that going to work? I'm just testing. Ooh, green light, green light.
Oh, it might be good to hear an introduction to Matt's character at some point, though, just so we know.
Yes, we will start with that. As a matter of fact, we will start
Wonderful.
with a very quick overview. I am going to stream this because someone asked. Actually, the guy who wrote Rendezvous with Destiny asked. So I said, sure, I'll stream it. So I'm streaming it. Okay, so it is the beginning of the preparations for the invasion of some part of Europe, which of course is the biggest secret of all. You are all members of a company within the Paratroopers, and I think very quickly, if we could, I will ask each of you to very quickly introduce your characters. I know most of you are involved in the character creation last week, but for Matt's sake, it would be great to just quickly run around the group and say, quickly describe yourselves, and then I think, Matt, if we can end on you, you can give a quick overview of whom you are playing. Over to you, Second Lieutenant.
So, an introduction to my persona. His name is Atticus Blackwell. He's a small town / rural lad with an affinity for animals and a certain amount of charisma, and perhaps an almost fatal attachment to the underdog, as it were.
Okay, Sergeant.
Yeah, hi. The name is Robert R.C. Carling, Sergeant, sort of a professional military guy, decisive, bit bossy, feels, well, is being liked by the troops, which is weird, of course, because he's bossy. And other than that, extremely good at firing long range. That's basically it, I guess. Nationality American. Yeah, good old US fucking A. And love being in the airborne.
Okay, I can't. I think it's the sniper. Who's playing the sniper?
That's me.
Because you were the corporal, were you not?
I am, yes.
Perfect. I remember everything. Awesome.
Right, I'm the corporal, George Armstrong, but everyone calls my character Cowboy because he's originally from Texas. He's the company sniper, so he spends most of his time towards the head of the company, and spends most of his time sort of hiding behind cover or like in a bush somewhere, sort of spotting everything ahead of himself. He's a little bit bloodthirsty. He enjoys killing, but he likes to make sure that it's over and done with quickly, so he's merciful towards his enemies as well.
And then Ripper.
Yeah, so Billy Ripper Harris is a angry guy with some. He doesn't look like much. He's got a bit of a wiry frame, but is incredibly strong. Grew up on the streets of I think I had it as Boston, and yeah, he's an angry, bloodthirsty, ruthless guy,
Yeah.
itching for battle. He's been in so much trouble in the past that basically the army was his only real salvation and a sort of legal way to turn that bloodlust and urge to kill people into a tool of the US Army. So yeah, he's an angry guy who's very good at close quarter combat and is completely fearless, so will probably volunteer for any suicide missions thrown his way.
And the person who unfortunately won't be able to make it this evening because they're trapped in Glasgow, which feels like there's a whole, level of humour you could throw to that. Plays Maximilian St. Thorpe, and he is a theatre kid of some entitlement from New York. And I'm sure when Per joins us next session, he will be able to describe his character in more detail. Over to you, Matt.
Cool. I'm Eric Weidenschenk. People call me Rav. Private first class. I'm Dutch. Escaped the Netherlands as the Germans invaded. My father pointed a pistol at a boat to take me across the North Sea. And yes, I've come to university in the US and studied at university in the US. And I'm now ready to take the I should say I'm a Dutch Jewish immigrant, which is why I ran away from the Netherlands rather than standing to fight, but ready to take the fight back to Berlin.
Okay. Well, if that is, I think that's everyone. So, on that note, it is the morning of what you understand is the day of the invasion. You have been living in, for the last few weeks at least, sausages. These are large encampments blocked off with wire, called sausages because of their unfortunate appearance and the way they run long. They have tents, equipment. They're parked right next to, in your case, where the Dakotas will lift off. A quick question for all of you. How much do you adhere to the strictures of, not particularly in the last few days? So there's been a real clampdown on people leaving the sausages. You've all been sort of almost in enforced containment. What's your sense of whether your characters would be staying in the sausage, and if they're not staying in the sausage, what do they do? Over to you, Ripper. I feel Ripper is probably a good place to start with
Probably
this
not
question.
there.
Ripper is probably trying to score as many cigarette cartons as he can before
Nice.
going anywhere. So he might be trying to sneak out and trade with other sausages or the the local Brits for as many more cigarette cartons as he can get his hands on. He probably lost a few in gambling as well, because the kind of character he is. He would probably have, gone all in on something and lost a load. So yeah, he's currently trying to score as many cigarette cartons as possible to take on the jump.
Okay.
Yeah, the Brits are famous for having cigarettes.
But it is also so you are ready to stock your legs, chest cavity, everything with giant cartons of cigarettes. Is there
everything that
is there a grand plan for these cigarettes, or is it just that you feel you'll need them all yourself?
I just feel like I'm going to need all of the cigarettes I can get my hands on, because the amount of fighting that's going on. It's just, he wants to after every.
Hopefully,
I mean,
he's just going to smoke himself to death before he actually kills someone he killed.
I mean, he's
I'm a
he's
brave
not long for
man.
this world, I don't think.
All right.
He hasn't got any business acumen, so it's not about money.
And one day you'll be a very elderly psychopath, Ripper. That's what's going to happen. You're going to live long and prosper and be elderly and crazy.
That's right. Nothing bad will happen to you because you're arguably the person most deserving of bad things happening.
It's true.
All right. So what about you, RC? How does RC handle these last few days of sort of enforced, so there are no leave passes being given, there's no way to leave the sausages, or are you one of the people who is enforcing
I'm enforcing the clamp down.
You're enforcing the clamp down?
And when I'm not trying to catch our scout wandering off, I'm actually cleaning all stuff, rearranging my backpack, making sure that all the letters to home are written, because I know what's coming.
Very nice.
And I try to make the rest aware that they know what's coming. That probably half of us won't return to England.
Oh, you're doing the whole like speech, look to the man to the left of you, look to the man to
No,
the right
no,
of you.
no. Yeah. That stuff.
Poor
but I do it
sods.
I do it more subtle.
Here's what I'll do.
Not one of those officer speeches. I'm doing it more subtle, like in a casual conversation, just saying, we might just not return. You never know. Just go for it. Stuff like that.
Okay. All right. What about you, Van? It was Van, wasn't it? I'm going to have to write everyone's names down because I don't have a single source of everyone's names. Give me 1 sec. Keep on talking. Yep.
Who's Van?
I think that was you. I misheard your name. What do they call you?
Rav.
Vav.
Eric Reinschenk, but they call me Rav
Rav.
because every time I every time I have a moment of peace, I read the God.
Aura.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, just flipped out of my head entirely. That's how much I study it. But no, I do study it. I'm always there, always reading. Little pocket Torah. So I'm an academic. So that is exactly what I'm doing. Actually, I find it's a way of keeping calm. I've already learnt that being in the army is 99% boring. But I can, as long as I've got light to read, I will read.
Okay. What about you, Second Lieutenant, whose name I'm just about to go and get?
Mainly just checking up on the men, making sure that any sort of last minute jitters are not to say dealt with, but sort of soothed and calmed as much as they can be. And in my spare time, just sort of doing a bit of pacing and thinking about the, to paraphrase, the horse I left behind me.
Okay.
That changes the on Boston camp.
All right. It is, beg my pardon, it is the 4th of June. You have all been told to get ready for the jump. You have leg bags, musette bags, backpacks, an endless array of equipment. If anyone's wondering, there is a giant list of it. I think it goes on for almost a page. You don't know when you're ready to jump, but you've been told to get ready. So, what is the first thought that occurs to you as you prepare for this moment of destiny? Over to you, RC. What's the first thought that occurs to you?
Finally, some action.
All right.
About time this gig got on the road.
What about you, Atticus? Or Lieutenant Blackwell, I should
I'm
say.
just remembering the last words I wrote in my diary before we made the jump. Bugger. The
Right.
last word.
Cowboy, Corporal.
My thought of thinking finally get to see some proper action rather than just firing blanks at cover over distance.
Ripper, what's your thought?
Ripper grabs his shiv, gives it a kiss, and says, "You'll see blood again soon."
Beautiful.
Soon you shall taste blood.
And finally, but certainly not last, Rav, what's your thought as you're getting ready?
Last minute repack. I'm going to take my flak vest out of my backpack and put it on and replace that with my entrenching tool and my rations.
Very practical.
All right, so you guys are all getting ready. You're all out. You're all, covered with the sort of black shoe polish. How many of you are shaving your heads? It's not universal.
Oh
but
hell yeah!
Please say none, because that was only the Pathfinders that did that.
That's not necessarily true, but let's not go with that. I was asking the question more broadly. Who is shaving their heads?
Oh yeah.
I have absolutely no intention of doing so.
All right, so Atticus is definitely a no. Ripper is definitely a yes. Rav,
Cowboy is no.
are you joining in on the shaving your heads?
No, I think I keep my hair pretty short. I don't think I'm orthodox. I think I'm reform, but I keep my hair pretty short, and so I don't see any need to shave it any more.
And we know RC's anti the whole idea.
Well, actually, my stance is I know French ladies are pretty, and I want to keep my hair just to impress them.
Very wise. It's hard to upsell when you've got a mohawk. Okay, you're all sitting out there. What is in your minds, what is the most important piece of equipment you've got on you that you definitely, kind of put as close to the sort of centre mass as you can? So the one thing you'll definitely be holding on to when you land. RC, what's the number one piece of equipment you're going to be holding on to?
What else than my Tommy gun?
Very nice. Strapped across the front, hanging on its lanyard.
Oh hell yeah, ready to shoot if we land and there are some Jerrys there.
Is it in one of the carry bags, or is it just hanging on your?
No. I've got it hanging over my chest on its sling.
Okay, all right, very nice. Cowboy, what are you?
And loaded.
And loaded. And loaded. Okay, very nice. That can't possibly end badly. Corporal, Cowboy, what have you got?
I think definitely same as RC. I've got my Springfield but in the bag that's going to drop down for me, but that's loaded, safety catch on.
Very nice. The second lieutenant, what is the number one thing?
Remind me what firearms you get.
You've got you've got the 1911 and the Browning automatic.
Oh, it's definitely going to be the 1911.
Okay. The pistol? That's the pistol, right? Yes,
Yeah.
That's the pistol. Vector?
Again, safety on, because I really don't want to have the safety off.
No. Safety off, bad. And Ripper,
Yeah.
I feel like the answer is already known, but just to check in, what is the number one thing that you've got strapped to the middle of your chest?
Yeah, no surprises here. A shiv in one hand and a carton of cigarettes in the other.
Okay. All right, you're all...
I'm surprised he hasn't got the shiv grip between his teeth.
He's going into the mouth of hell the way you would have wanted.
Okay, you're all sitting out on the ground, kind of in that position. I have been rewatching Band of Brothers to give me a little bit of visual reference points recently, and like you're all kind of laying on top of each other, kind of in rows, kind of relaxing against the next person in the row. You've all blackened your faces. You're ready to jump on, and then ready to go. Mission is called off. It's the 4th of June. You're all ready to jump, and they call it off. You're all sort of pulled in. You've had you kind of were prepped up with ice cream and other inspiration, but the weather has closed in, and it's a no jump day. What's your one thought coming back into the barracks, having been told that that's it? You have to take all this equipment off. Like, you're carrying your own body weight plus, in many cases, in major chute, reserve chute, all of the equipment that you've been given. You've got the leg bags kind of ready to go, attached to your legs. You've got the musette bag, you've got your backpack, you've got other things per commentary. RC, you were ready to go. You specifically said finally. How do you feel when they call it off on the 4th?
Well, first thing that sprang to mind was, for fuck's sake, not again.
All right.
Do those guys at GHQ even know what they're doing?
It appears not.
Idiots.
Corporal Cowboy, what's your first thought coming back in off the field?
I'm pissed. How's the preparation, just getting all his equipment on, months of training, and now we ain't going.
All right, Ripper, what's your first thought coming back in?
Is there's the blood is boiling. This is like the red mist is there. He doesn't know really what to do himself. His hands are like he just wants to get stuck in. He's looking at Atticus for some sort of reassurance and calming, because he's about to pop off and just tear the place apart if he has to wait any longer.
Which nicely segues to Lieutenant Blackwell. Atticus, what is your one thought coming off the field? Noting, of course, that you can see that Ripper is like clenching fists as they come off the field. I'm
torn up inside with ambivalence. I don't know. I feel this sort of sweat-soaking relief of none of us are going to die today. We're not going to see any of those bright young faces and all those hopes dashed within seconds of hitting the ground. But at the same time, I feel guilty and ashamed, because as a man and a military man, I shouldn't be feeling what I'm feeling. And I'm just looking at Ripper and thinking, oh God, he's on the brink. How many others are frustrated and aggravated by what's just happened, and how much fallout is this going to be?
Okay. And Rav, what's your thought?
I'm carrying my bazooka, by the way.
Right.
In terms of thinking how close to me.
Well, it's broken apart. It's in multiple parts at the moment, because it's jump ready
in its gripping bag.
Yeah.
But what my thought is whatever will be will be. And we weren't going to die today. We were going to die tonight.
Yes. All right. The next morning, you all wake up exhausted, because you were hyped up last night, ready to go, or yesterday afternoon, I should say, ready to go. Next morning, message comes out, definitely going to happen today, 100%. You find yourselves jumping back on. I'm getting a little bit of reverb from someone, by the way. I don't know where it's coming.
Sorry, it's probably myself, because you're on loudspeaker using our phone.
Ah, okay. All right, that's fine. That's better though. It's gone away now. You get up in the morning. You have a sort of half day, and then it's go again. Now, I honestly, off the top of my head, cannot remember if this happened today or yesterday, but for the sake of noting fiction over history, we will assert that it's happening today. A rumour goes around that Eisenhower himself has come out to talk to the troops. You all crowd out with everyone else. There's a giant group of paratroopers all gathered around in this giant sort of half circle, and then you can almost so Eisenhower's a tall man, but you can almost kind of see the way they're all focused into the middle, and there himself is Eisenhower, Shafe himself, as it were, talking to some of the troops. Now, you're right at the back of the crowd. You can't really hear what's being said. You're almost hearing the laughter of the crowd rather than whatever's being said, but he's chatting to the troops. One guy in particular has been called up for some reason. You don't really know why, but he's actually just a private first class, like many of you, having a direct conversation with Eisenhower. That conversation sort of peters out. Eisenhower's moving around the group, shaking the hands of the men, talking to them quickly. He comes upon your group, Who of you steps forward to shake the hand of Eisenhower?
I shall do so.
Okay. Second lieutenant steps up, shakes Eisenhower's hand. It's a cold but very firm grip. You can see when you shake his hand, it's firm, but at the same time you can feel a sort of nervous energy behind it. He's shaking. Famously, Eisenhower smokes like a chimney, giving Ripper a fair run for his money. And, he's looking down upon you. Does anyone else step forward, or you're all sort of in awe of Eisenhower standing there?
I'm going to step
Ripper's
forward
gonna-
and just give a. Oh, go ahead, Rip.
Ripper's going to step forward and ask him if he's got any more cigarettes.
I knew that was going to happen.
He looks at you and in that kind of Kansas kind of accent, which I am not going to try and do accents. I think Australians on the whole should avoid doing other people's accents because we have such terrible accents ourselves. He looks at you, smiles gently, pulls out a single cigarette from his packet and hands it to you.
Oh, that's great. I'm going to have that as my lucky one for when I land. So
That
it's going
will
in a special
be
pocket.
your lucky strike.
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone else step forward?
I do. I just step forward and just give a respectful salute.
Excellent. He salutes back. Okay, after a quick moment of frisson, he moves on from the rest of you. You're now prepped and ready to go. The following letter is handed out to all of you, and it reads as follows. Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the Great Crusade, towards which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in a free world. Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well trained, well equipped, and battle hardened. He will fight savagely. But this is the year 1944. Much has happened since the Nazi triumphs of 40 and 41. The United Nations have inflicted upon the Germans great defeats in open battle, man to man. Our air offensive has seriously reduced their strength in the air and their capacity to wage war on the ground. Our home fronts have given us an overwhelming superiority in weapons and munitions of war and placed at our disposal great reserves of trained fighting men. The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking. Signed, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Commander-in-Chief, SHAEF, and General Montgomery, Commander of the British Army. Okay, that letter is handed out, passed around to all of you. You are now called forward. You have all of your equipment strapped onto you. You have these bags of equipment. There's the Dakotas are kind of revving up their propellers. You can see a great stream of Dakotas in front of you. It's a slightly overcast evening or late afternoon at this point. But yep, you can just see an endless chain of what looks Dakotas kind of doing this big round U-shaped turn through the airfield. I can't remember what the correct term is, but the marshalling commander sort of steps up, gestures to you, Atticus and RC, and says, "Get your men on!" The Dakota is in front of you. You weigh about 140 to 160 kilos in total mass. Can I get... who, if anyone, is struggling to get onto their Dakota? By the way, you all are, but just in case any of you are super strong.
I was just going to say everyone, I guess.
So can I get... oh, sorry. Go, Rav.
So I was going to ask, how much does the shoots weigh?
Oh,
Because I've just realised I've stocked up, but I don't actually know what the encumbrance of the suits are when it comes to struggling to get onto the Dakota.
that's a fair question. Do they have?
I think they're one. I think for the both shoots together, I think was one. That is off the top of my head though, memory.
Let's have a look. Optional.
Okay.
It's not in optional equipment. Paratrooper, leg bag, backpack, musette bag, May West. Shoot and reserve shoot is a half.
Shoot and reserve shoot is only a half.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It's a tad generous. It's a tad generous.
Yeah. Right. Okay then. I'm not struggling at all. I'm bloody. I'm a big man. It has to be said.
All right.
The only thing I'm going to struggle with is getting through the tiny door at the back of the Dakota. But
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not struggling from weight. It's from just the bulk of so many cartons of cigarettes coming out of all pockets.
And is it true that you
where are they
have...
stored? In your leg bag or where have you put them? Just out of interest.
Everywhere. Any free space that I had left is filled with cigarette cartons.
So your biceps bulge in a way that is both completely unnatural and deeply uncomfortable. All right.
Yeah, don't let him bend because something might explode.
Oops. Sorry. Go, Annie. Or Jonathan? What were you saying?
I'm just waiting until everyone else has got on to get in, just to make sure that metaphorically all my ducklings have gone home to roost, as it were.
All right.
And since I never sat down, I helped the guys up. I helped the guys up off the ground.
Yep, doing the hand pull thing, pulling them up. Each one as they get stepped up.
Each one, and in passing, I give them a handshake.
Very good. Now, the way the jump setup is managed is the second lieutenant is at the front of the plane, next to the door you jump from, and the sergeant is at the back of the plane to make sure everyone shuffles forward at the right point to do the jump. So RC, you're marshalling, and second lieutenant, you're the one that makes sure that they all go through. It's up to you whether you jump first or whether you jump sort of last. But either way, you're at the front of the plane making sure people know when to jump and where to jump.
Okay.
You also have this. You should all see if you are logged on to Roll, and I think most of you are. Yes, you all appear to be. Oh no, hold on. Yep, you all are. This is your summary of mission objectives that is handed to you before, or briefed to you, I should say, before you jump. Your mission objectives are as follows. Secure Causeway 4 to Utah Beach, facilitating the ability of the troops on the beach to get off the beach as quickly as possible. Capture Sainte Marie du Mont, which is a artillery location that threatens the landings on Utah Beach. Deny the enemy the use of the southern Murdet River crossing, so blow the bridge. Secure the northern Murdet River crossing, which is the exact opposite. Capture the bridge and make sure you hold it so that troops can get once again into Normandy proper as quickly as possible. Secure the approaches to Carentan and the Douvre River, capturing the dam and destroying the garrison. And then finally, assault, capture and hold Carentan, the linchpin between Utah and Omaha beaches. These are your missions. The first three are for you guys to decide which one you want to go with. So you kind of have to do all three, but you have a choice. And to help you make that decision, I'll give you a chance to read that, and then Yeah, there it is. I
Okay,
will,
as player characters,
yes.
do we have demolitions experts in our crowd?
Do you have
The
munitions?
resounding answer is no.
So you can use its tech skill. I think it's called. Is it tech? Yep, there it is. Tech. So you use tech for
Yeah,
munitions.
I think I'm more inclined in terms of my expertise and maybe the expertise of the rest of the platoon. I mean, obviously we can, and I'm sure we've got backup characters as well that could blow these things up. But just putting our front and center, I'm sorry, a bit metagamey. Capture Saint-Marie du Mont sounds the more exciting one to me. Where we can blow shit up.
Yeah, actually, I was going for capture Saint-Marie du Mont as well.
Is that the consensus, Lieutenant? And
Well, it's not. This isn't a democracy, is it?
no,
Lieutenant?
it's the second lieutenant's choice. but we are also playing a game.
Well, the second lieutenant better listen to the sergeant, who is more experienced than him.
Sergeant, I fully concur with your belief that taking Saint-Marie du Mont would be the proper course of action.
All right. Well,
Okay, we were to choose 3, right?
So you choose no. So you choose from the first 3, the first mission you'll be undertaking,
Oh,
because
okay,
that
sorry,
defines your.
misunderstood that.
No. I didn't describe it well. So this will be the thing that defines what jump zone you're targeting, because you need to make that choice. So just note the notes. There's a sizable force garrisoning Saint-Marie-du-Mont from the 91st Infanterie Division, despite the considerable bombing of the area. It's a key location from which the Germans can mount counterattacks against the beachheads, and as such, holding it will be a high priority strategic objective for them, and obviously by inference for you. All right.
Oh hell! Now that sounds like a mission.
All right. So this is the jump zone map. You can see, and I don't think I can do a ping, but I can draw. There's Saint-Marie-du-Mont. There's Jump Zone C.
Right.
So if you had taken the first mission, you would have been heading to Jump Zone A. If you'd taken the third mission, you'd be heading to Jump Zone O. You will be heading to Jump Zone C and Holdy Manor and Saint-Marie-du-Mont. Alright. So, you're in the Dakota. You're all lined up. We haven't done the generation of the background characters. What I might do is just quickly do that off system. For now, what I will ask you to do as we move forward is just name people, and that will be enough for now. So, as you need them, to be clear. So there are 17 of you in the stick, of which you obviously comprise a fairly significant portion. You have all of the command positions in the stick, so they're all troops, all PFCs, lined up. The Dakota, as you have boarded the Dakota and you're getting ready to sort of taxi down the runway, you hear a crump sound further away. Some of you spin, look out the little windows that you have in the Dakotas, and you can see that one of the other Dakotas has caught fire, and even before you've managed to leave the ground, you're already seeing men being pulled from the burning plane. You assume either the gammon mine or something else has gone off on the other plane, and you can see soldiers being pulled out of the plane, injured and screaming in pain. Okay.
Right, seeing
I'd
that,
like
I shout.
I'd like to quickly do something, if that's okay. And I'm sorry,
Yeah, go for it.
I didn't realise, RC. Sorry, you had something to say?
Yes, as a sergeant, I was gonna shout through the plane. Make sure your shit is all secure, for fuck's sake.
Lol. I was just going to say, gentlemen, hats off. What's the expression? They're there, but for the grace of God. Hats back on. Just as a quiet gesture of, not necessarily respect and remorse.
Yeah.
For the men who most likely will, have life-changing injuries.
Okay, you do that. The Dakota is taxiing away from the scene, heading towards the takeoff point. You can feel the sort of bumpiness as the plane is taking off. You're surrounded in a mist of diesel fumes from all of the planes in front of you, sort of taxiing away. You're this great fleet, this great air armada, as it were, sort of gearing up for takeoff. A quick question. Are any of you carrying a radio kit?
I think
Yeah, I
we
think Ripper
spoke
took
about
didn't
that
he?
last week. Who would carry that? I believe
And
there
can
was
anyone-
one. It was one of the. There was one of the characters that was very strong, and he sort of said he would carry it, but I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I think I said that I would if I've got space, which I did. So yeah.
Alright, so are you carrying the main radio kit or just a handy talkie radio?
No, the big chunky
one.
radio kit.
Okay, so
Yeah.
where is
I've
that?
got a handy talkie.
Alright, so
I have the handy. I have the handy.
alright, so who's got so let's slow down. So so how are you carrying the main radio kit?
It's strapped on my back, or like on the sort of top of the backpack.
Okay, it's gigantic. It's in a bag. So it's either
Yeah,
in
okay,
your backpack
alright.
or it's in the leg
Oh
bag.
no, well it's okay. It's in the backpack then. Yeah.
Alright, so you've moved most of your equipment into the leg bag and you've got the main radio kit on your back.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. And sorry, there was can have one. Yeah, so you can only have one handy talkie. So I think two people have
Let
volunteered
the
to have
boss have
one.
it then.
Sergeant's carrying it
Yeah, I have it, and I have it in my musette bag.
in your musette bag. Okay. By the way, just do pay very particular attention without leading the witness as to what is in your leg bag. Yes, when the GM laughs when he says things, it's usually not a good sign.
Oh boy.
I'm not paying attention.
I've
I'm
got-
just gonna let it happen.
I've got 2 spare ammo bags and 6 rockets.
What's in my ammo bag?
In
I'm
your
carrying another 6 rockets in my backpack.
you're carrying 6
In
rockets
my leg bag.
in your leg bag. Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. All right. I don't need you to tell me. I just need you to be very aware of what's in your leg bags. That's all. Okay. You're traveling. You're now part of this great armada. It's gone dark. It's I think it's 1900 hours by the time you start to taxi off. The plane is arrowing into the air. You feel it turn. Hold on, I'll get the directions right because I always think of it the wrong way. You turn east towards the coast. You can't see anything really except all the little blinking lights of all of the other Dakotas. And obviously you're pretty close up, so there are some Dakotas you can make out in the darkness. but mostly you're just surrounded by this swarm of little blinking, flashing lights, and the deep thrum of like hundreds of Dakotas making this noise. You are all sort of sitting there. It's pretty bumpy, but probably worse than that. Like, you've done training jumps, you've been in the Dakotas before, but obviously this is the real deal. This is the no turn back mission that you've been training for 2.5 years in some cases. Lieutenant, you're standing up the front. Do you want to? Is there anything you want to say to the? Noting your little, there, but for the grace of God, go we line. Is there anything you want to say to the men as they're all lined up, sort of blackened faces? Some of them looking panicked, some of them looking relaxed. One guy's snoring, without a doubt, in a corner. Allah can
One guy
wake up
very,
Hicks.
very heavily padded with cigarettes.
Could be. I Ripper, I'd be keen to know, is Ripper asleep, or is Ripper like kind of now even more on the sort of on the pointy edge of
Yeah, no, Ripper's raring to go. Like, if he could go out, if he could jump now, he would. There's barely anything holding him in that plane still. He wants to go.
I should mention, you've all been given these pills before you boarded, which were meant to combat air sickness. So you are feeling a little bit drowsy, but obviously the level of adrenaline you're currently experiencing well overwhelms that. Second Lieutenant, anything you want to say?
I'm actually getting butterflies because of the realism. Sorry. I think I will turn to the men and I will say, gentlemen, I salute you, and I take off my hat in reverence of your bravery, your courage, your steadfastness, and your goddamn stupidity. May you all reach the ground safely on the other side. And remember, whoever the hell wanted to live forever anyway? And just nod and just look away.
Okay. Does anyone make any final quips?
Yeah, of course. As a sergeant, I have to.
Of course.
Go, Sergeant.
So when the second lieutenant has done his speech, I sort of draw the attention of the guys and say, don't disappoint me today. Yeah. Only thing I can say is Kurahi. And then normally the rest of the men shout.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll join in with the Kurahi,
you guys probably never went through parachute school.
I'll jump in with it.
Are there any airborne? Are there any real airborne in this airplane, or are you all just? Yeah, I don't know. I give up. I simply give up.
I've never done that, so.
All right. We will assume actually.
I don't mean in real life. Come on.
I assume actually what happens is almost everyone joins in on the Kurahi. You've spent 2.5 years learning to yell it out.
Yeah.
All right. So the plane is now angling over the sea. You can hear and then smell a sort of warm breeze wafting through the plane. You're sort of struck by the fact that the engines, you feel like the engines pick up, they grip the air more. Someone's pushing down harder on the accelerator of the plane. You hear the thrum of the propellers get faster and harder. Suddenly, you're now arrowing almost over the coast. You can see in the distance, the lights of villages spotting around, and then in a moment, bright lights start lighting up across the coastline, flashing up into the sky as first of all, giant sort of flashlights shined up into the sky, and then boom, boom, the rattle of flak starts to hit around the plains. You can hear the whine of machine gun fire, because you're actually flying low enough that straight up machine guns can reach the plains. You're only sort of about 1,000 meters, give or take 1,000 yards above the ground level, and the MG42s in particular are capable of reaching this height. There's rattling sounds and flashes, smashing sounds. The first thing you know it's real when you see one of the other Dakotas just a little bit further along in the group that you're in get lit up, and then suddenly a whole bunch of fire hits one of its wings. The engine bursts into flames. You see smoke rising from the plane itself, and then you see it sort of that fire run along the wings, catch into the fuselage of the plane itself, and you see it starting to nosedive towards the ground. There's no chance any of those men are getting out of that plane, and you just see it smashing down towards the ground and exploding in a giant hit. There's a crunch right near you. What's your first thoughts, guys? Now it's on for real.
Let me out, let me out, let me out.
Alright, so Ripper wants to jump out straight away.
Wait, just looking for that green light. Looking for the green light.
Yep, so right up the front of the plane, there's this little red light. It's literally minuscule, but it's just staying red, right? Like, there's... And you're concentrating on it, Ripper, and it is not changing. There's a very real sense that the pilot doesn't know what he's doing. Now, the second lieutenant knows this, probably most of you don't, but the pilots were given specific orders not to try and avoid the flak. They were told to just fly straight. But, of course, needless to say, as soon as you hit the flak, you feel your plane and you see all the other planes jinking and sort of twisting and weaving, diving down, rising up, desperately trying to avoid this flak fire. You can hear, the jump master is there, sort of, or the crew master is there in the back of the plane, sort of looking pale and white, because they haven't done this either before. There's an almighty bang, and the first... I'm going to roll a dice. Yay, dice roll.
Oh, yeah.
It's about time.
Well, before you do that, I tap the two guys in front of me and give them a signal to hook up their line on the static line.
Okay.
Because we're not hooked up yet.
That is true. You are not hooked up yet. Okay. I need to just... Sorry.
And they know that to give the signal to the guy in front of them, and so.
All right. So everyone's now being told to hook up by the sergeant. Now, second lieutenant, it's your call when you jump. To be clear, you just have to have some faith in the pilot that they know where they're at, because you're literally looking out the side of the plane at what looks like pretty dark ground with all these flak shots and machine gun fire coming up from the ground. Let's see, what happens first?
I just want to make it clear, I'm practically screaming inside my own head, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ.
Yes, I will be asking for a guts test from all of you in a moment. On that subject, can I get... Alright, so, as I had just described, the pilots, despite the orders to fly straight and fly flat, aim on target, drop your troops, don't deviate. Your pilot, you feel the whole plane shift to the left, and jink away from what is a particularly heavy piece of flak fire. There's everyone's kind of you've all now stood up and you're all connected up, so you're flung around the plane, sort of buffeted off the sides of the wall. Can I get everyone to make a nimble test for me, please, for the first skill roll of the night, as it were?
Is that a D6?
So what you do, go to your character sheet. Go to the character sheet.
Yes.
And if you go under the agility stat, you'll see there's a skill called nimble. You can just tick on the dice box, and it will pop up how many dice you get to roll. As our mate.
Oh, hold on. I was looking at my PDF because I made a PDF of it.
Okay. As our mate Rav has done and has gotten 1 success. That's it. And then you just hit
Does
roll.
it show?
Yep, I can see it, and then you just hit roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't have it.
Oh Lord.
Hmm?
I got a 1.
Oh, a 1. Oh.
Alright.
And then you get also a 1.
Oh, fuck.
Alright. So, we are going to have a problem. Is that... Whose nimbleness is that, Jono and Annie? I'm just conscious you're rolling 2 character sheets, I think.
We both got a 1.
Oh, okay. So, what I might just say is make sure you roll 1 character sheet before you roll the second one for you.
Did you do that?
Because I can only see 1 set of dice numbers up here, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dice. So... Alright. Okay.
Johnny's just trying to sort this out.
Well, I think you can just use normal dice if you want. I don't actually care. You don't have to use the dice
Yeah,
roller on
I've
the
got
sheet.
physical dice here.
That'll be
Can we
easy.
roll those?
Yeah, we've done the roll, so we can do next roll.
Yeah,
Whenever
that's
be.
fine. Alright, so anyone who failed, pick 1 piece of equipment, because it's now rolling around on the bottom of the plane and pretty much unretrievable as the plane jumps up and down.
Okay,
Goodbye,
by
life
failed,
jacket.
by failed you mean that hasn't rolled a 6.
That
correct?
is correct.
Okay, so I have to lose something. Okay.
And Ripper, did you get a success?
No, I got 3, 2, 2, 4, so I'm gonna lose a life jacket now.
Oh, okay.
I'm losing my gas mask.
Alright, so gas mask and life jacket flopping around on the bottom of the plane. Alright. The lights...
You've got
the lights...
equipment.
I don't know what equipment I have.
You've got the same as everyone.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh, give me a second.
Because I can't read. That sounds like I'm stupid. Sorry, I can't read because I'm blind, not because I'm an idiot.
No, I understand.
Sorry, one second. I'm so sorry.
That's alright.
So you'll have your leg bag, which can contain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your life jacket, your gas mask, and ammo. You've got ammo bags.
Yeah, it's going to have to be the life jacket. I'm not risking losing my gas mask knowing what the Germans did to people.
Alright. So, you guys sort it out amongst yourselves. The flak is hitting the side of the plane. There's the rattling of machine gun fire off the wings and the fuselage. The plane is veered to the left. And the light is still red. Okay.
I've got to make the call, haven't I?
You are going to have to make the call at some point. It's up to you when you make it. You can make a... what would it be? I will let you make a insight roll, which is under intelligence, to kind of give you a guide of when you think you should make the call.
Right, Johnny, can you roll that?
Just doing that now, and okay, what does the grenade represent on the dice?
God, I don't know. I don't have the physical.
Because I've got the official Firelock dice. You see.
Oh, is the other
And I don't know
side?
if,
I think it's a foobar, so it's a 1.
there's 2 ones in.
Yeah,
It's
this is not
definitely-
looking good for me. So I assume the 1 means I think I should go now.
No, it just means that I will give you. So you think once you're at. I'll get a dice out as well.
Fortunately, none of these 1s have been life-threatening just yet.
Okay.
Yeah, give it.
It's clear to you that you should be jumping on 7, but that means taking a lot of flack. So you might want to call it before then. It's up to you.
Right.
All right. Planes fly on. Your pilot kind of stops jinking the plane quite so badly. You're looking out the windows. You see the same scene playing out that you saw as you were coming over the coast. Another Dakota, once again, catches fire. And you can see this happening, sort of trailing smoke behind it. And then it just breaks apart. Like it just breaks into 2 parts. And you see both parts
Right.
spinning down towards the ground. Can I get everyone, please, to make a guts check at this point?
Can I roll this time?
Give me a second. I need to find my guts is on here.
I'm getting really close to saying we can jump, so Ripper, you don't need to wait too much longer.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Tried my dice out and I got 2 1s.
Well, I've got 3 ones, but I also have a 6.
I've got a 5. Is that okay?
No, it doesn't help. You need a 6. 6 is good. 1's bad.
Yeah.
Everything else irrelevant.
I got a 6.
All right. I don't know why, Matt, but we can't hear you anymore.
I'm not seeing the guts on here.
It's
Uh,
under
under
empathy.
it's under empathy.
Under empathy.
Right next to
Okay.
Scroll down. It's one of the bottom ones.
I am looking at your character sheet. You have a guts of 1 and an empathy of 4.
Sorry, we've
So I have
Jonathan-
5 dice. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay.
Well, I'll
Gotcha.
have to.
All right.
Thinking of me.
Jonathan's forgotten to add the pluses, so should he? add
Oh,
the-
oh,
Because
4 6s.
those should disappear.
Oh. How many dice is that? Jeez.
It's 5 dice is what I should be rolling, but I've got
Oh, man.
4 6s.
4 6s. So,
What?
I
Rav,
think I've got a +1 on my empathy, so does that mean I roll a 6?
okay, so the way it works is you roll a number of dice equal to your stat plus your skill.
oh right, so I didn't do that. I've been rolling 1 dice. Just sort of.
So it
Yeah, I
is-
was worried that there was a lot of rolling 1 dice going on.
So, sorry, I thought...
So the
My apologies. So the dice pool system, it's stat plus skill equals number of dice you roll. You are looking for 6s on those dice.
In which case
that's
I'm
a gear
rolling-
bonus sometimes.
And yes, it may have a gear bonus, although not in the case of guts.
In which case, let's get the other. For Annie, let's get the other 5 going, and I'll roll mine next. So let's see what we get on Annie's dice. See how many we get. We don't get a single 6 for Annie. Me, on the other hand. That's 1. And that's. So I've got 2 6s altogether, so I've got 2 successes altogether.
All right, so one of the things you can do is you can actually share your successes with other players. So the rules explicitly allow you to, in effect, inspire others, particularly around things like guts. So those of you
Yeah,
who
I
have
was
scored,
just thinking I might find a suitable passage, a suitably ecumenical passage in the Torah to read everybody.
right? Very nice.
Stephen, I
Or
think my
I
roll
might
is
even
invalid.
know it from my head.
Yeah.
All right.
I think my roll bit might be invalid. I think I normally should only have 3d6.
You've only got empathy 2,
No,
Now I've got empathy 3.
but you've got no guts.
Yeah, and guts is 0. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you've only got 3 dice to roll.
Yeah. Okay. I'll roll again. Hold on.
Um,
How do I change it? Let me have a quick look.
Johnny's chosen to share one of his
clear
sixes.
the dice
with me.
before clicking again. That's probably what happened.
Yeah. Now I've got it. Okay.
Oh, and you got
That
2
should be-
6s.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, I had a 6 before, so it's all good. All good.
all right, so you
That
guys...
means.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, go,
ahead.
go.
No, I was thinking since I've got 2 6s, I can share one as well. Correct?
I would like
Correct.
to be inspired because, well, Ripper is just looking to try and get out of this plane as much as possible now after seeing that. It's just like, let me out. just, what the fuck are we doing still in this fucking plane?
So,
I don't wanna
Talk
fucking
of
die up here,
Moses
Lieutenant.
Parting the Red Sea.
Has everyone?
Remember, God
In
is
a row.
steering the flak away from us, leaving a passage for us to
Right.
go and take the Torah to Berlin. We're all going to make it.
Just a question. If effect, you are the bazooka guy, aren't you? Not the chaplain?
I am, but I studied theology at university.
Ah, okay. So it's your background.
You are-
I'm taking the
yeah.
Torah to
Nice,
Berlin
nice.
one rocket at a time.
Nice.
I think it's time for us to jump, gentlemen.
okay, so you're only... Remember you thought you had to get 7, and you're literally 2 in. But you have failed your guts check. So you very well
Yep.
could be going, no, I think we're ready. Let's go now.
Well, Johnny did share his inspiration with me,
Sure,
so
it's up to you.
does that help?
All right. Do you want to? Are you gonna jump at 2, or are you gonna kind of ride the wave a bit longer?
I think we're going to have to ride the wave a little bit longer, but I'm literally on tender hooks myself. So Ripper, I share your pain. We're getting close to jumping.
Okay. There is. So you just make that decision. You're like, no, we've got to hold out. We can't jump early. There is a cracking bang, almost right beside the plane. It's like the thunder of God, to use a recent analogy, has indeed decided to land upon you as opposed to in front of you. The side of the plane rips asunder, and you see there are 2 corporals, aren't there? There are 2 corporals in the unit. There would be, wouldn't there not? I'm asking.
Yeah, there would be.
I'm
I
asking.
guess.
We have
Yeah.
one corporal, and then
You'd have
Yeah.
another corporal? Alright. So Corporal Johnson, known for his deep love of sort of Orlando and southern Florida and Gators, and was always a bit of a joker. You see him just smashed by a piece of shrapnel. It tears through from the back to the front, tears through his chutes, tears into his body, and you just see a great gout of blood sort of spout out from his mouth. He collapses in the line because you had made everyone stand up and hook up, right? So he's now sort of about a third of the way down the line, choking, screaming, crying, and then goes silent. Can I get another guts check, please? And specifically, Second Lieutenant, would you mind giving me your guts result?
of course.
So, there's your 5 dice.
I'm cool. That
She
shook me a
had
bit, but I'm cool.
1 success.
Okay,
Good enough.
it's your call. What do you? So second lieutenant. You've seen Corporal Johnson go down. There's blood, but perhaps more importantly to you, they're like about a third of the way down the line. So the way the line works is everyone steps forward, jumps. So this guy's now kind of dangling there, hooked onto the line. What do you want to do? What command do you give?
Down? Can we cut him down from the line?
Yep.
We can unclip him.
And yeah,
He's just
I'll give the order to unclip that man.
All right. Random dice roll. It's Ripper. Okay.
Oh, good lord.
Gets his shiv.
Gets his shiv.
He's-
First use of the shiv.
Yeah, he's gonna take his shiv and just he's not even gonna try and unclip it. He's just tearing that guy off and then gonna try and pull him to the back of the plane and then get himself hooked back up.
Oh, okay. So you
Quick as possible.
unhook.
Yeah, I'm gonna unhook. Well, I imagine I'm not next to him, or am I next to him?
No, you are. Yeah, that was what I was rolling. You're
Oh, I am
right
next to him.
on top
Okay,
of
cool. Okay, cool. So yeah, so I'll just turn around and yeah, I'm gonna just try and use my shiv to get him off of that as quick as I can.
Okay, nice. All right, so you basically just cut the sort of the rope that's attached to the line, and
Yep.
the body drops to the ground. Well, body's probably unfair. The choking, crying person drops to the ground. There's nothing you can do for them though, and the command is everyone jumps. Everyone jumps. All right, third thing.
So you want me to give that command now?
Well, you gave the command, cut him down. Well, get him off the line. That's been done. It's up to you. You're now 3 into 7. It's getting pretty hairy out there, though.
I'll wait until 4.
All right.
Then
What about you,
everybody
Sergeant?
go.
How are you feeling? Noting your latest guts roll.
Well, I'm not too happy about staying in this flying wreck.
Yep.
So I'm actually signaling to the second lieutenant to let the guys jump.
Okay. Now the light is still red at this point, but you're giving
I
that.
don't give a hoot.
You don't give a hoot.
and did I actually see that? Was I in the direction of?
Oh yeah,
the-
you're facing
the-
down the plane, and the sergeant is at the back,
Right.
so you can actually see the sergeant going. I don't know what symbol, kind of raising their fist or pushing forward or something. But they're also looking
It's,
pretty. Like the sergeant's actually looking a little white, as in a little pale.
Yeah, that never happened. Nope, never happened.
Well, I think it's.
Right.
I do note that you have a very low guts, so you're like all this bluster,
Yeah.
but deep down inside, you
No,
have
I know.
You would say
All
driving
right.
trucks like your father.
I'm actually going to do it now. Okay, gentlemen, God forgive me, but it's time.
All right, so the light is still red, but you're jumping all the same.
Jump, for God's sake, jump.
All right, the command is given. You all step out. You can feel
One at a time, I imagine.
Yeah. So it's a procession, right? So each person sort of steps forward. The lieutenant taps them on the shoulder, and then they literally just kind of do the whole and jump out, holding onto the braces of the parachute. And you feel the sort of the line goes long, and then you feel the poof of the line pulling the parachute. Lieutenant, when you look out the window and you see the first man jump, you realise the plane is going far too fast. Like the planes are meant to slow down for the jump. This plane is going hammer and tongs. So you can feel the wind whipping past your face when you give the command. You can see the first person sort of jump out and then kind of slam against the side of the plane for a second. The chute spools out behind them, and you see them sort of, pulled away to the bottom of the plane, not towards the engines, good news. And then you see the chute open, and them sort of falling away. You can see all around you other troops are making the same decision, but it's not consistent. So it's not like, which is what it's meant to be, like all the people in this unit, in this group, are meant to be jumping at approximately the same time. You can see actually in the distance when you looked out the door that further back you can see some parachutes dropping towards the ground. You can see other planes that have what you assume have released no parachutists at all. They're still moving forward. Okay, you each go through. Sergeant, you're second. You're last to go through. Lieutenant, did you jump first? Oh, I guess I kind of hinted to that, but let's pretend I didn't. Did you jump first or did you jump last? Do you jump first or do you jump last?
In keeping with my concern for the men, including the poor bastard I ordered unclipped, I jumped last.
Okay. Unbelievable. All right, that's funny. Cool. So you're jumping last. All right. So Sergeant, you're second to last to go out. Lieutenant's waiting for you.
Yeah. Well, when I reach the lieutenant, I sort of push him out and jump basically almost simultaneously.
All right.
Okay, I was going out last, but Sergeant has seen to that.
All right. You both, you're out of the plane. You feel the parachutes sort of thump open. All of you felt this. Could I get everyone to roll a single d6 for me and tell me if you got a 6?
Right, first for me.
Nope.
For me,
Oh, sorry. Actually, I need to know whether. Actually, I need to know your result. My apologies. I need to know your.
okay,
actual
Cowboy got 4.
result. Okay.
I got a
and
5.
Atkins got 3.
Did anyone get a 6?
Not me.
All
I
right.
got a 5.
All of you lose your leg. All of you lose your leg bag.
Ah, that's good because I
So-
already wrote down what was in there. So half my rations, my gas mask, which I lost anyway, and a carton of smokes.
All right. In addition to that, if you rolled a even number, you lose one additional item.
Oh, pity sake. So that's my leg bag one and one other.
Yeah. And just for fun and giggles, I will tell you what it was.
Oh, God.
I rolled odd, thank God.
Oh, who lost an item? Was that you?
You lost a what?
Who lost an item? Was that you, Jono? Did you lose an item
Yep. As well as the leg bag.
as well as the leg bag? Awesome. Did you already drop your life jacket? Were you the person who lost the life jacket earlier?
That was me.
Well, we both chose to do it because we both failed, so...
Yeah, but did you use your life jacket earlier? That was my question. Did you lose
Yes.
your life jacket earlier? Okay, I need to re-roll. Much more fun. What gun are you carrying? You're carrying the M1 carbine, aren't you?
No,
That
I'm
doesn't
carrying
sound good.
the... I'm carrying the, Sorry, writing's fucking...
Oh, you're carrying the sniper rifle.
Yeah, the, M1903.
Yep, not anymore. Okay.
Oh, pity sake.
So you
Sniper without a sniper rifle, it's a bit unfortunate.
you've lost your rifle and you've lost your leg bag. So when the chute's open, you just feel the bags give way, like the straps just tear or tear off the pants, whatever it might be, and they're gone. You have no idea where they are. They're just lost. All right. The plane. You all land and can you still see the map, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Nice, very lucky. Funny story. You actually did a pretty decent job of landing exactly where you asked to land. Not actually where you were meant to
Wow.
land, but right where you were asked to land. So I just need to check my map very quickly.
I have no idea what we've got in our load bags because you didn't do the
There
load
it
bag
is.
check.
Also, gas mask, an unimportant thing.
Right, okay.
I'll go for them later.
Alright, so you come down in a field. The field is bizarrely not flooded, which is good news. There's these giant hedgerows kind of surrounding the field. I need everyone, beg my pardon, I need everyone to make for me a nimble roll for the landing. The good news is, as you are all paratroopers, I believe you will get a bonus die for the effort because you have the specialization of paratrooper.
7. For me, if I am.
Oh, okay. How do I push this roll?
You just declare your. I think it's just. Wow. Now I wish I'd. Actually, give me 1 sec. I'll be literally 1 second.
Hold on, I just realised one of my dice didn't actually roll. I'm going to re-roll that one. But yeah, I still need to push.
Was it gonna have to now steal a rifle off someone? Probably off a German.
I get a fucking German.
Right. I'll do my roll. Ooh, that's good. 4, 5 successes.
Ah, that's right.
Oh.
Awesome. I now I need to back myself. I did remember. Okay. Did you guys work it out while I was away, or shall I tell you what happens when you push?
No?
All right. So when you push, it's just like Forbidden Lands. You activate the foo bars. So you don't accumulate foo bars unless you push. But if
Right,
you
so I've got
push,
2 1.
you can't re-roll those. You can re-roll the other 3 dice.
Well, I got with my roll. I
I'm gonna
got
take the
5
hit.
successes.
All right. So anyone who didn't get a success, just tell me.
I didn't.
Annie's actually Atticus actually balances out. He's got 1 success, 1 fail.
No. Successes.
That's fine.
That's fine.
He's got 1 success.
What
All
about
you need.
what about you, Ripper?
Apologies, that my signal broke up. Then what am I rolling for? Sorry.
Nimble. Plus 1 die.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
Nimble
Yeah.
plus 1.
Nimble with +1. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So 5 dice. Right, it'd be nice to get A6 tonight. Nope, another 1 though. That's great. No.
Do you want to push?
Fail.
yeah, I'll push. Yeah.
All right.
But I didn't.
No.
So I can re-roll
Ripper,
everything but
what
the
you
ones, right?
rolling? How many dice you rolling, Ripper?
4 plus 1.
So 5 die.
And
Yeah.
and you got a 1.
Yeah.
And I lost 1.
5 dice, so you can re-roll all the dice that didn't get a 1.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, so I'm going to push and re-roll those 4. Come on, there's a 6. Hey, there we go, a 6. Yep.
All right. But how many 1s do you have?
I've got 1 1 and a 6.
Okay, so you have accumulated 1 foo bar,
Mhm.
which you should add to your sheet. So your sheet actually has a foo bar,
Yeah.
as it were. That is yours to love and to hold and to be given to you by me at the most inappropriate time I can imagine.
Oh,
Yeah, you've got 1 more as well.
bugger. I've
Where's
also
that
got
on the
Damn it.
Is that near the top?
Near the top.
Yeah. You only have foo
yeah,
bars if you pushed a die roll. So,
Oh, I didn't push a die roll.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's fine.
all right. What about you, RC? You made your roll? Yes, you made your roll. Two
Yeah.
sixes.
You can see. I always
sixes.
roll online, so you
Yeah.
can see that.
You can have a lucky strike, mate.
Ooh, cool.
Or no, you can have a lucky strike because there's actually not much else you can do with the die roll. All right.
Did I get an actual lucky strike from the from Eisenhower's cigarette? Is that counting as an?
Yeah,
actual
I'm
lucky
definitely
strike?
giving
Was
you a
that-
lucky strike for Eisenhower's cigarette.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Mark that one. Sorry, yes.
It's completely GM fiat to grant as I choose fit. Lucky strikes when I feel they are most appropriate. But the fact that you
Great
bumped
stuff.
a lucky strike off Eisenhower feels highly appropriate as the moment, as it were.
Yeah.
Okay. Landing. You've done that. Okay, so you've all come down in the field.
I failed.
Oh yeah, you failed.
What's my cost of failure?
You take a point of endurance.
Okay.
All right, you guys are all sort of on the ground. You're lucky you didn't end up in a flooded zone. However, where did you end up? Oh, maybe you did end up in a flood zone. No, I sort of don't think that's fair. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's
God.
perfect.
Where's endurance on this chart?
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
there we go.
It's all at the top on the status.
yeah.
Cool.
Okay, you see and then hear. You've all kind of landed within cooey of each other. I won't do the whole sort of, you're kilometres apart. Sorry? Okay, sure. Can you tell me... sorry, it's going to be a small amount of background noise. You've all landed as a group. I think that'll be the easiest way to do this. You see and then hear what sounds like a loud gun firing. You've kind of all come out on the same sort of area, and what you realise is you are within pretty close distance of what sounds like an anti-aircraft battery.
Okay.
So the entire platoon is back together, or
No, just you five. Just
Okay.
you guys. Five? 1, 2, yep, 5. Just you 5. You will need to find the rest of the platoon.
yeah, that's why I was
How close are we to
asking.
this anti-aircraft battery?
Sorry, what was that?
How close are we?
Well, you can, now that you sort of, you're sprawled on the ground for a second because it didn't go well
Yeah.
for you. But you realise you're within sort of 50 metres of
15.
50
15
5
meters.
0.
50 metres, and you can hear the
So
sort of
we're doing
thump,
200
thump,
feet.
thump.
Well, I better check whether my gun's working. I'm going to take it out of its bag and assemble it.
Okay. You all do weapons checks. It's at this point, Cowboy, that you realise you've lost your rifle. It's come loose in the descent somewhere. You're in open ground. What other weapon do you have?
The only other weapon I've got is the 1911 pistol.
Okay, so you have a pistol.
Yep.
Toro with a bazooka. Where was your bazooka stored?
In its bag, strapped across my chest.
Okay, all right. So you're all pretty good then, from a weapons perspective. You can see as you all sort of gather together that you seem to be the only people from your platoon who you can see, but you can see in the distance parachutes kind of everywhere in the sky, coming down to the ground all around you. As you sort of gather yourselves together, you see a Dakota coming over far too low. There's a moment of
Somebody get me a rocket out of my backpack.
All right, so you're getting the rocket. Who's going to be your loader?
No, I'm asking for somebody. Cowboy, maybe, since he's running around looking for his rifle.
You don't have your
Get me a rocket out of that backpack. I'm assembling the bazooka. I'm aiming it, but I need a loader.
Okay,
my loader isn't here.
I see a Rav. I see a Rav assembling his bazooka, and I tell Cowboy, go help him out.
All right. So just to be very clear, because this will be relevant to what I think you intend to do, the anti-flak battery is on the other side of some bocage. So you can see the barrels of the anti-flak battery pointing up into the sky, but you're on the other side of the hedgerow, right? They're in the next field along, 50 metres away. So you can hear it, you can see the flashes of it, and you can see the tops of its barrels, but there's this giant goddamn hedge made up of trees and thick hedgerow between you and it.
How far away is that hedge?
Let's say 15 metres.
Right.
Actually, after I said to Cowboy that he needs to help Rav out, I turn to the LT and I tell him, we need to take that bastard out, pointing at the anti-aircraft gun, of course.
All right. Second Lieutenant, what are your orders? Hello?
I believe that I will concur with the Sergeant on this matter. Best begin things as well as we should end them.
Okay.
Take that back.
So you all move. Questions then. Cowboy, are you assisting by loading? Kind of running around behind and grabbing out one of the rockets to load into the rapidly being constructed bazooka, because the bazooka is in multiple parts at the moment, but I assume it's being pulled together quite quickly.
Yeah, I'm going around sort of behind Rav.
Okay, so one nice thing about the rules is noting the sort of concept of command. Second Lieutenant, if you make a command roll, people within your zone can get bonus die that they can use to fulfill your orders.
Okay.
So you make a command roll, and every success you get, you can basically turn into a pool of bonus die that other people can use to complete your orders. So would you like to make that command roll?
I would indeed.
And noting, I don't know what specializations you have. So if you have a specialization that specifically adds to command, you may wish to note that.
Do I have a specialization?
I'm just trying to find command at the moment.
It's under empathy.
Under empathy, thank you. Command 2. Specialties, forward observer.
No then. That's a completely different skill set. Alright, no worries. Command it is. Please make a command roll.
Oh, one's fallen off the bed. So I'm going to get to re-roll that one back in a second. Yeah, try to be more careful with dice roll, baby, because we've only got a book in the bed. Right, roll that one. No successes, but 2 fails.
Well, it's up to you, but I wouldn't suggest a push at this point, but obviously completely your call.
Yeah, I'll go with a push.
Okay.
So roll all your dice except for the 2 that's got 1.
Yeah.
That's all but 1. Okay, so it's all but the 2 of them.
No. All you said 2 fails.
Yeah,
so you can't re-roll those.
You can't re-roll the ones.
Yeah, fine. I've got it. Still no successes on that one.
All right, 2 FUBARs to the commander.
Already, well.
All right.
Virtually all of us have at least one FUBAR.
Everyone, charge that way. You can have a maximum of 2 is the good news, so you've already maxed out.
Good.
And you all do start with 1 lucky strike, I should point out. I should actually make the point.
Oh.
Sorry, I should have made that point much earlier. My apologies. You can use a lucky strike to do a re-roll and re-roll all of the die. So it allows you to re-roll the ones.
Everyone had a 1 lucky
Had
strike.
1 lucky strike, and Billy the Ripper Harris.
RC,
actually
you've
has
got
2.
2, and I think
Yeah,
somebody else has got 2.
Yeah, I had one as well, so I'm at 2 now. Okay, cool.
All right. Okay, so you proceed at speed. Quick declaration of actions then. You're approaching, I assume, the bocage. You can hear the thump, thump, thump of the anti-aircraft battery. You can see Dakota's getting hammered by this flak above you. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm looking for a direct line of sight.
Okay, you'll
I'm
need to get...
worrying about cover.
You will need... Well, the good news is cover is kind of a given because you have to actually get your way through the bocage.
It's not. Yeah.
So the first thing you realise is... So you guys have been training in hedgerows in England because that's kind of what you had available to you and that's what your intelligence told you the hedgerows would look like when you arrived. That is not what you're experiencing. The bocage is almost impenetrable. You've got to sort of force your way through this sort of dense tree and hedgerow.
Would it help set fire to it?
Sorry, what's
Have you
that?
seen a hedgerow in England? They're pretty bloody.
Look, I'm just saying what the historians have all written in all the history books that I've been reading, mate. That's all I've got. That's all I've got. But apparently,
It's shorter.
But apparently the bocage was explicitly the one thing that the British had... Oh, well, not British, sorry. SHAEF had completely failed to prepare for.
Can we set fire to it?
You can,
And
but
would
that
that
will
help?
not be subtle. And it will not
And
be
also, it
penetrable.
won't do anything for the anti-aircraft gun.
Yes, and it will not be penetrable. It won't make it more easily penetrated until the fire burns down.
So we've either got to go under, around, or over. Is there an around within line of sight?
Oh, that's a good question. Can I get a perception roll, please? I assume it's still called perception.
Give me a second.
What is it called?
It's the year 0 problem of... No, they call it perception. Yay! The one skill that almost always stays the same. Except when it's not. Except when it's awareness.
When it's Mason.
Yeah, exactly. Except when it's awareness.
Yeah, that's not bad. Right, give me a second while I just look. While I just get it.
Alright. Ripper. Perception roll.
Oh, you needed the perception roll from everyone. Okay.
Yeah, you're all looking.
Everyone makes a perception roll. Okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
What's perception under? Sorry, it's
Intelligence.
under
Intelligence.
Oh dear. You've
Don't
got
have
fail.
much of that, but I did get one. Success there.
Nice. Okay, yes. You can see about 10 metres down the bocage, there's the sort of little, exit from the field. A gate, if you will.
I've
Do you want
got
to command us to go down there, mate?
and 4 fails.
Okay, Jonathan's got 1 success.
Okay,
So I don't have any,
that's fine.
unfortunately.
Both the corporal and Ripper see the gate about 10 metres down
Right.
that looks like it lets you out of this field into the next one.
Right, gentlemen, to the gate.
Alright, so you all rush down towards the gate.
Actually, no. I tell Rav with the bazooka to try and wriggle his way through the bocage, stay in cover and aim for the AA gun to fire at it when we attack.
We need 2 of us to go through. I
Yeah,
can't
exactly.
shoot
I mean,
with
but
my-
you've got
Yeah,
Ripper
we've got
with
the
you because he only has
Ripper.
he only has a
Ripper,
handgun.
No, it's corporal.
Okay.
It's the corporal who only has a handgun.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You've got the scout with you.
Cowboy.
Cowboy. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, Cowboy's going down to the gate, isn't he?
Nope.
No.
You're coming with me, Sarge.
Alright, so just to clarify then, the plan as it currently stands is Rav and Cowboy will wriggle through the bocage and fire the bazooka at the flak gun from cover.
But only fire it when they hear us shooting.
Oh, okay, all right. And then the other three of you are going to run down to the gate and either shoot from there or move into the other field and then shoot, depending on what you see.
Exactly.
Have I understood the plan? Okay, awesome. I actually don't need you to make a dice roll to wriggle through the bocage. I'll just assume that you, with a bit of focused effort, you can do it. That seems reasonable. But you are aware of the backblast of the bazooka.
Well, I am. I don't know where the cowboy is. He's not my usual loader.
That is true. Cowboy is not actually a trained loader. Cowboy may not be aware of the backblast issue. Importantly, Cowboy may not be aware that being in the bocage when you fire the bazooka may not be the best place to be. Okay. You guys, so you two are sort of shuffling through. The other three of you run down to the gate. You see a kind of classic, and I don't know if I've forgotten what the millimeterage of a standard anti-aircraft gun is for the Germans, but let's go with sort of the classic sort of boom, boom, boom looking single barrel anti-aircraft gun. It's not an 88, that much I am sure of. It's a much lighter weapon than that, but pointed up into the sky and firing away. You can see that it has there's some sandbagging around it. There's some netting over the top of it. There's a small squad of Germans, sort of by the looks of it, pretty much just the anti-aircraft crew. You can't see, like, there's not a whole, there's not a infantry detachment attached to them. It's just them booming away. What do you want to do? They are unaware of you at this point.
We're going to need distraction, so we're going to need to signal to the boys in La Bocage, and when they start firing, I've got my Browning, so that didn't fall away, which is good. I know where that is.
So you have your
It's
bar.
on there.
Is the sergeant going to correct the lieutenant?
Yeah. Actually,
Because I'm not gonna start
Lieutenant,
firing
we're
until I've
supposed
heard
we're
your
supposed
gunfire.
to start firing, and then only then the bazooka can fire. But I've changed my mind because apparently the flak is a flak Vierling, which is a 20mm gun. They don't have a large weapon shield or what you call it, a shrapnel shield. So the bazooka will probably have no effect on that. So that's no use firing the bazooka. So
Yeah, but you've left
You
me and
can
Cowboy
get
with
a
instructions.
distraction
yeah, hold on,
fire.
but you're only 10 meters away, so I can dash back and rescind the order.
Okay, so is that the plan though? Because
Yeah, I tell the lieutenant, wait here, don't attack. I run back to the bazooka crew and tell them to follow us because firing the bazooka at a small target like that has no effect whatsoever.
okay, I want a stealth roll because you guys are now going backwards and forwards.
Yeah, okay. Stealth, where is that?
And by the way, when the sergeant does come back, I want to register that I'm not pleased with his sudden change of plan without seeking advice and assistance from myself.
All right, you can.
Wow, that's what sergeants do.
All right, stealth roll. RC.
Yeah, looking for stealth. Where is
It's
it?
under Dex. Agility. Sorry, it's under agility.
No, it's not.
No, I don't see it.
Oh,
see it. I
infiltration.
see
Infiltration.
Ah, okay, then it's just 5 dice for me. Okay,
Okay.
We all need to.
and I've got a success.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Okay, yay! All right. I will roll for them. Okay. All right. So you are running back to the bazooka team. They've pushed their way all the way through the bocage. So you're like kind of whisper shout kind of level of communication because remember you've got like the flak gun going
Hedgerows
off.
between us.
You have the hedgerow between you now because they've kind of shuffled all the way through. You're whisper shouting to them. The unfortunate news is the flak team one of the guys from the flak team was kind of casually sort of, kind of step, like the other guys are all busy shooting away, and there's one guy sort of, who might be the commander of the unit, as kind of sort of looking around, because they can see the parachutes, so no people are dropping to the ground, they're not complete incompetence. Looks to your side, and at that point, the two people now who are at the fence, so that is just, let me just make sure I've got
My
this.
Lieutenant and Ripper.
Yep.
Yep, Lieutenant and Ripper. You two see the guy go. He's like pointing at you, and he looks confused for a second. What do you do?
Browning time, I think. How much is to reach the Browning, and will it reach him?
Oh, the Browning will reach him. He's only 30 odd meters away,
Right.
and you are shooting a high-powered semi-automatic weapon. Yeah, no, it will reach him.
Okay. I will set up distraction fire. Hopefully before the guys on the other side of the fence can sort of to start firing at their end.
Okay.
So, do I need to make some kind of roll for that?
You definitely do to make some kind of roll for that. So, so are you using your bar in single shot or semi-automatic?
Let me think. Which one will be the most appropriate for basically trying to?
It does full
cover
auto.
fire.
Sorry, I underestimated the bar. It'll do full auto as well.
Okay, I think full auto, because I'm not just trying to hit someone. I'm trying to cover for the poor bastards who haven't even started firing the bazooka yet.
So this is one thing you have the choice of. So the way the rules work, you can choose to actually target people directly, in which case you can target sort of the group, but particularly the guy who's pointing at you, or you can do what's called suppressive fire, which basically limits their ability to act. So if they fail their guts check when you do the suppressive fire, they won't act, and if they attempt to act, they have to make a nimble roll or they take a hit.
Right, it's suppressive fire, 100%.
Okay, are you going full auto suppressive, which means you'll burn through the entire clip, or are you going, does it do burst or semi-automatic? Burst. Yeah, burst. Which will use,
Semi,
I think,
okay.
10% or so of your shells. Semi-auto? Okay, so you are rolling with +4 die from the weapon for that, because suppressive fire, and you get you're rolling your range combat skill, which is under agility. So your dice pool would be comprised of the stat, the skill, and the 4 dice bonus for the weapon.
Right. You know my luck, it's probably going to end up with lots of ones.
It's almost certain, but I'm counting on it.
Wait a second.
Ripper, what are you doing while this goes down?
I'm gonna find some suitable cover that's nearby. I don't know, like around the fence that sort of looks like it might be able to stop bullets. Then lean out, aim, and fire my M1 single shot aimed at the commander that spotted us.
Okay, same story then, but since you're only doing a single shot, and the M1 carbine, which is what you're carrying, single shot, no bonus die.
You've got one success.
Okay.
I've got one success
So far,
Give me a second.
and then I need to get to reroll number 3 because I ran out of dice.
Yep, that's fine.
So I've got at least one success.
Yep.
And come on, Mom, I need a new pair of shoes.
No, one success.
Okay.
One.
It still works.
That's
You're laying
one
down
success
suppressive
from me
fire.
as well.
One success from you. Ouch. Okay, that's less good news for
Yep.
Mr. Commander. We will go straight to rolling a damage roll. Could you roll a D10 for me, please, for damage?
Oh yeah, where's my D10 die? Is that that one?
And you get a bonus of 1 to this die roll.
What we're damaging them?
Yes.
I got a
Okay.
4. I got rolled a 4, so 4 plus 1, I guess.
So that's a 5. Dun, dun, dun. By the way, in answer to your question about damage is 5. It's just a minor hit. Okay, so he's taken 1 point. Okay, cool.
Yep, and make that 6 for Annie.
No. You guys weren't doing damage. You guys did suppression. That was about the M1. Okay. So you clip the guy just lightly with the M1. The bar is now scattering fire across the entire little bunker. What are you now doing, Sergeant, when you hear this rattle of fire going off? And actually, I know you've kind of whispered to Rav and to Cowboy, but Rav and Cowboy, what do you do?
I'm ready to shoot as long as the Cowboy's loaded, and because there's gunfire. That was my instructions.
All right, Sergeant.
Yep. So I basically get Rocket, I shove it in the back, and I give him a tap on his helmet.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to make and I know you don't have the skill, a heavy weapons roll, please, which is based on strength.
Cowboy.
Cowboy, this is. Yeah. Well, to start with, it's Cowboy. Then it's you.
1 success.
Nice. Okay, you don't stuff up loading the bazooka. Win. Okay. Go for it. Go for it, Rav.
Now, I am aiming. Hold on. Just finding. Where's my heavy weapons? I've got. Yeah, I've also got launch crew, which is +1.
So, yeah.
And heavy weapons.
Yep. So
add a dice to that, and roll.
And a bazooka.
Hold on, is that right? I don't think that's the right number of dice.
What's your strength?
Strength is 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, that's the right number of dice.
Yep.
I hit with 1.
Yep, you definitely hit. Okay.
I've got no foo bars.
Yes.
Can I re-roll? Can I push?
Yes.
I think in this game I might push.
Okay.
This is my
so roll
pack.
everything but the 6.
I'm going to roll them individually. So that's 2 6s now.
Okay. So the extra 6 could be used to increase the damage by 1.
Cool. I will do that.
Okay. So you're rolling damage +5. So D10 +5,
Damage
please.
+5.
Oh, that's
and
fun.
What? It's a D10 for damage.
And it's a blast of 5 meters, which means pretty much everyone in the bunker is going to get hit with the explosion.
Hold on. Where have I gone with this D10?
It's there.
Yeah,
I can
that.
see it. Oh, it's gone.
D10.
Yep.
Well, 4 + 5.
Is
That's
9.
only 9.
I'm just going to check, but I have a sinking suspicion that might be just short of a critical hit. Where's the... Oh, no.
And that. So 4 was the bazooka.
Yep.
Sorry, 4 was my roll. There's another 4 equipment bonuses there for the bazooka,
Yep.
and 1 for my extra success.
Yep. So a total of 9, which is
Yeah.
just short of critical hits. However, and just because it's like they're basically newbie types, do you want to roll a single D10 for hit location for the officer who has taken damage already and has now been smashed to the ground by the bazooka blast?
5.
He is hit in the arm, and let's roll to see what happens when he's hit in the arm. Critical rolls on arms. D10.
Is that a D66?
No,
Or
D10.
D10?
D10.
D10. this weird D10 in this game.
Uh,
5 again.
5 again. Nasty sprain. It's stunned for 1 round. Stunned for 1 round and suffer -2 to any skill test involving that arm until you receive a successful medical aid test. Alright. There's an almighty crack, thump, and a giant explosion. The bar is laying fire down through the same space. The weapon goes silent. Sergeant, what are you doing?
Since the blockage it takes too long to go through, I run back
Yep.
to the gate.
Yep.
Thompson at hand,
Okay.
ready to fire at anything I can see.
Okay, now you have an option. You can actually fire suppressive fire as well, and it effectively adds successes, so they're cumulative. So if multiple people are pouring suppression fire into the same zone, they accumulate successes, which makes it more difficult for people to avoid. So you could turn around the corner and just start, spraying the area with gunfire, or indeed you can hold off and wait to see if anyone moves or does anything, and then shoot them. Your call. Which would you prefer?
For this round, I would go, since I'm sort of unaware of where everyone is after the explosion, I go for the suppression fire on this round.
Okay.
So I've got a Thompson. I'll make it a burst, not a full.
Okay. I assume
so
you have
burst
all of the
next,
numbers in front of you, and you've got that under control.
Well, I've got for the burst. I believe it's 3 bullets that go out.
Yeah, and what's the bonus die? Is it +3 or +2? It'll be plus.
I think damage is +2, but
Yeah.
actually I haven't found the exact table yet
Okay.
for the
I've
gun.
got it right here.
Yep.
Oh no, that's vehicles. Damn it.
Another celebrity's dead.
I will
Can you
just
spin
say I
it?
don't think vehicles should be in front of weapons in the book. I don't think that's helpful. Thompson, here we go. That's the right one, isn't it? Yeah, number 6. Cool. It's 3. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. So +3 die to your skill. So your stat plus your
My
skill
skill,
plus the
my
3
skill
dice.
is hold up. My skill is, where was it? Range. I've got ranged combat 2.
And
Plus I've got submachine gunner.
oh, okay. Well, that'll give you a bonus die.
Yeah, hold on, because I'll take my. So I've got ranged combat.
Yep.
And I've got submachine gunner 1, so that's +2 +1, I think.
Yep.
So
+3
that
for the
is
suppressive
6.
fire, and then your stat. So don't forget your agility in that mix.
My agility. Hold on, let me have a quick look. Agility is 5. Ooh, gold. That's
So
good. That's
you're going to
11
roll
now.
11 die.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, roll.
Yeah, hold on. Let me please add them first.
Click, 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 click. Now you may want to clear. So see how you've still got the numbers up. Too late. You need to clear the whole lot. This is one inadequacy of roll. You have to hit the clear before you roll,
Oh, okay. I'll do that. Clear.
because you had the dice from the original, from your last roll.
Okay. So now I have to add the 11 again.
Yeah, I apologise, but yes. One success,
Oh, the one
but
success.
4 ones, which is a message from God saying, "Don't re-roll this dice."
I wasn't planning on doing that.
All right, but you
Don't
now.
you know the rules better? When you get more than 2 fubars, is that saying you can't roll, or what happens?
No, nothing. It's well, actually, what happens is they go to a general pool of fubars that I own. So you can have up to 2
Oh, shit.
fubars applied to yourselves, and then every
Okay.
additional fubar comes to me. So I can end up with a darkness
Love it.
points level, kind of pool of 23 fubars to play with, that sort of story.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but I wasn't planning on re-rolling this.
I think that's very wise.
I
That's the sort
I
of
have a
gift you shouldn't
success.
give your GM.
I'm happy. I'm happy with that.
All right, so you are basically now also pumping fire into the space. The commander's gone down. I will give them a general kind of guts roll just to see if they can resist the suppression. I think they're not kind of elite troops by any stretch of the imagination. Actually, they're probably Yep, no, that's what I expected. All right, there is no movement. You guys can close the distance really quickly. They don't pop there. They've been blasted with a bazooka. They've got bullets flying all around their heads. They are legitimately just an anti-aircraft unit. So, and their commander is down, or at least stunned. What do you want to do?
One question
I'd
we
like to
do.
approach.
Sorry.
One question we do. Count the bullets, right? Because I just did that.
Yes, please. Yep, you
Yeah,
need to count the bullets.
Okay, fine.
If you go full auto, you burn the entire clip for anything other
Yeah,
than
I know, but I had a burst, so that's only 3 bullets.
Yep. And I think that's... We went full auto with the... Did we go burst with the bar? Yes, we went burst with the bar, that's right, because it was plus 4.
Yeah.
So, same story for you. Alright, so just keep a running tally on bullets for me, please.
I'd like to request whether the men think it would be safe to approach.
Let's charge.
Yeah.
Let me at him.
Alright,
Charge.
so...
Ripper, I will not let you go into battle, even against men with brains. at
They're
this
down. We
stage.
got him, lads. We got him, lads. Charge. Come on. Let me at him.
Alright, well, you can charge. You're completely entitled to charge. I will point out the military training you've all received actually is all about move forward, move forward, move forward, move forward. That is the fundamental tenet of the training you've received.
Move forward to the position.
Never, ever, ever go into defensive mode unless you absolutely have to. Your entire training has been attack, attack, attack.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna
Yep,
pull an M2.
I'm giving the same order. I'm giving the same order to Rav. I'm tapping on the shoulder and I'm pointing, and I've literally right next to him now, pointing straight over at the gun crew that we've suppressed.
Yep. Alright, so at least some of you, if not all of you, charge across the open field towards the men.
I'm gonna
Go, Ripper.
I'm gonna
You're in front.
pull an M2. I'm gonna pull an M2A1 grenade out, and when I close the gap to 10 meters, I'm gonna launch that into the
Into the
defensive
bunker.
position. Yeah.
Nice. Can I get
Crazy.
an athletics?
Nobody's ahead of you.
Can I get a calisthenics roll?
Who's saying that? Is that you, cowboy?
Absolutely.
Oh, is it Cowboy that's doing? No, it's Ripper that's doing that. Ripper, roll a calisthenics roll for me, please, because it's calisthenics
Yeah, no
to throw
problems.
grenades.
7 dice. Right. 1, 2, 3. 7. Right. Here we go. Come on. All right. We have got 1 success.
Okay, well, it's landed where you wanted it to land.
Perfect.
Let me just check what the damage of a grenade is.
I'm gonna hit the deck immediately as well. By the way.
M2A1, yep, very wise.
That's one.
It is just as... It's not quite as insane as Twilight 2000, where the explosive radius of the grenade exceeds the distance you can throw it by quite an amount.
Oh yeah, it's 5 meters, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean to blast radius with damage of +1.
Yep, so just roll a d10 with a +1, please.
No problem. That is an 8 with the +1.
Ooh, another 2 points of damage. Okay, I'm going to rule that they are out and down. So you you throw the grenade, dive to the ground. There's a thump noise inside the bunker, inside the little sandbagged area, and you can hear Achtung, Achtung. Sorry, my German is terrible. People are lying kind of around, shaken. I only have one question for you, and then unfortunately we will be closing the session because I actually need to go and get ready to go to work. Do the things they pay me to do. Are you taking prisoners?
I suggest that it would be a good idea. So I would like to order the sergeant to look for men alive enough to be worth taking prisoner.
Do you really want me to do that?
Does appear that's what you've been ordered to do.
There's
I
five.
think.
There's five. I take the lieutenant apart and have a quick word with him, saying, "There's 5 of us. how can we take prisoners? We have a mission to accomplish. We can't hold prisoners around. We're not equipped for that. Do not take prisoners.
I think maybe he was just trying to absolve the responsibility of making that decision to his sergeant.
I get that. I get that, and I would have done that, but still, as a sergeant, it's my duty to learn the lieutenant the ropes. As sergeant too.
I think he was asking you to kill them.
And ignore direct commands by their lieutenants.
Okay, I'm deeply uncomfortable with the whole idea of killing men who we've just bested in combat.
I'm not.
Okay. Then tell me how are we going to complete our mission if we have to take care of wounded prisoners?
So while this conversation's going on, and just noting the comment that was just made, Ripper, what's going on? While the lieutenant and the sergeant are having this conversation in the corner, as it were.
Ripper's charging the position. He's going in with the shiv.
I sort of give him the thumbs down, the Roman thumbs down behind my back, so the lieutenant doesn't see it.
All right. So Ripper, you are busily dispatching left, right, and centre.
Yeah, I'm going in with the shiv and just quietly putting him out.
Right.
Just run in.
Okay.
I'm dismantling my bazooka.
The last man who is still alive is killed. Can I stop him? At least if we can't take prisoners, we should be able to get some kind of intel out of dead or dying men.
Can you make a... well, you can. Could you please make a perception roll for me?
Okay. So I'm trying to reach my buddy here. I'm trying to get him to
that's
stop
true. You
killing
are his
people.
buddy. This is true. This is actually a good point. I had forgotten. Please make your roll. Ripper, you do actually need to make an empathy roll. Just a straight empathy roll.
Yeah, one success, one failure.
Okay. So this is the only roll where this is true. You actually need to fail your empathy roll to just execute people.
Oh, okay.
Unless you're cold-hearted.
Apparently.
Unless you're
Yeah,
cold-hearted.
I'm not cold-hearted, but I am ruthless. I don't know if that's.
So I think this is a really good question to ask. So the orders you received were ambiguous to this effect. And sorry, you don't have the capacity. I think the order was worded along the lines of you don't have the capacity to carry. It's exactly what the sergeant's saying. You don't have the capacity to manage prisoners. So some of the soldiers took that order to mean just leave them where you find them and move on. And some of the soldiers took that order to mean leave no soldier behind in a very specific way.
So I think at this point, because the empathy roll was that I had a success on that, I guess he's still like I'm running out of position. I'm about to just lay into them on in that position, and I guess it's a case of if someone wants to yell stop, now is the chance because he's not going to hear it otherwise.
Did you make your perception check?
She got one success.
Okay, well then you can see Ripper like pulling out his shiv as he runs into the bunker. It doesn't take a lot of kind of deep thought to realise where that's heading.
Private, halt.
And he's just getting to the edge. And he's like, "What the? come on, man!"
Ripper.
Yeah.
I know we cannot take prisoners. Thanks to the sergeant, I have been informed of such, and I do remember my training in that manner. However, leave one wounded man alive. Do what you like with the rest, but leave one man alive, and remember, for Christ's sake, remember the Geneva Convention.
Make sure to the officer.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you've basically just been given license to pretty much kill everyone in there who's not already dying or dead.
Yeah, so I'm gonna he's just gonna go in there and just put them out of their misery, like the
Yeah.
ones, especially like leave the one that we ordered to leave. It was ordered to leave one that was alive.
Yeah.
Officer,
Well,
leave
yeah.
one, the officer, because then someone who knows German can talk to him.
Yes, the officer's actually just outside of the bunker, so that kind of follows. So,
Alright, cool. Yeah, I just go in there and just yeah.
so you kill the men in the bunker. What you realise as you're doing what you do is these guys are actually kind of pretty old. Like, this is not kind of men in their 20s kind of scene. These are guys in their 40s, maybe even in their early 50s. They don't look like they're frontline troops. So a lot of the battalions that were brought in outside of the infantry battalions were kind of conscripty types, or older, less well-trained men from kind of equivalent of Home Guard kind of stuff in Germany. So particularly for things like the anti-flak battalions and other things. So these guys are quite a bit older. You kill them. We won't go into great detail. We'll just say that's where that lands. And we will...
So you see,
Sorry.
normally there's still a cost to killing people, unless you've got the killer talent, which is an endurance point and a morale condition.
And a morale condition. Well spotted.
In this game.
In this game, thank you. What morale condition do you think you pick up there? Oh, well, make a guts. No, actually, you know what? Take the morale condition. What morale? So,
Alright, cool.
take 1 point of
have that
morale. And
What you want to do, Ripper, is buy yourself the killer talent. I think you still lose a point of endurance for doing it.
so you take unsure. Unsure.
So
or
where's morale? Oh,
Uh,
unsure.
Yeah, so it's either an empathy condition or a intelligence condition.
Okay, cool.
So you've got nervous, panic. You've got nervous, or you've got unsure.
Oh yeah, I think unsure might be. Because of the I think that would make sense, because they're not the elite paratroops he was expecting to fight.
Yeah.
They're just some old people.
Yeah, pretty much.
it
They're not
felt-
like SS
yeah.
Panzer Division kind of cats, which is kind of what you had in your head. You'd be fighting like guys in kind of black uniforms with little, SS stuff on their things, or
The little
elite.
skulls on their hats.
Yeah, well, or elite paratroopers. These guys are far and away from both of those things. Okay.
Remind you
So
of the home guard. that
I
you
take
were
a
bumming
point of
cigarettes
endurance
from.
as well, yeah. And
Yeah.
where do I
And a
add?
point of endurance.
Sorry.
Sorry, yeah. Where do I add the unsure to? Is that under wounds and trauma? Or?
Have a look under the stat. It's under the skill. It's under the stat. So if you go to empathy,
Oh, okay.
there's something called fear.
Oh yes, I
and
see.
You
Yes,
can just
and I-
tick it. By the way, it doesn't auto-calculate. It's just for the purposes of record keeping. So you will need
That's
to
cool,
remember
yeah.
to remove a dice in the future.
Okay, so that's it. So I just mark it as unsure. So I've got
Yeah.
-1 to morale checks. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. To empathy-based skills actually is how it works out.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
apply
Anything
minus one
anything under those. Yeah.
under those four. All right. That is where we are going to stop. I genuinely need to go and put on clothes that are appropriate for work and pretend that I'm still employed for a living. Next session, you'll be interrogating the officer and making your way to Saint Marie de Mont, which is your target. Quick check around. Everyone have fun?
Yes.
Loved it.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you in a fortnight, and I'm sure Per will watch this video between now and then. But Per, looking forward to having you join the group next time. All right. On
Yeah,
that,
he's my buddy.
he's your buddy. On that note, I will stop the stream, which I have